Mate, do you remember when banks were amoral, psychopathic institutions that only cared about money? The days when they'd gleefully hand out a 100% mortgage to an unemployed mother of 7 with 3 teeth and a face tattoo, whilst also laundering millions from Mexican drug cartels? We didn't know it at the time, but those were the glory days of banking. Now, they've developed a social conscience and it is dystopian as hell. Like us at TRIGGERnometry, Nigel Farage has had his account with Coutts Bank closed for what they initially claimed were unspecified commercial reasons. Following a Freedom of Information request, we now know the real reason was because Nigel Farage's views did not align with their values. Would you like to know whose values do align with Coutts Bank? Chilean dictator General Augusto Pinochet, mafia leader Emilio Di Giovanni, and Egyptian leader, I'm not going to do the accent, Hosni Mubarak, have all had bank accounts with them. General Pinochet was a brutal dictator who was responsible for the disappearance of 3,000 people. Terrible? Yes, but nowhere near as bad as Brexit. How many people died due to Brexit? Millions, allegedly. We all know that Brexit started the pandemic and it was single-handedly responsible for 9/11. You probably didn't know this, but there's nothing Osama bin Laden hated more than the single market. Say what you like about dictators and mafia dons, but none of them have ever forced me to use a slightly longer queue at the airport. Yes, mafia boss Emilio Di Giovanni spent most of his life in prison for violent gang crime, but has he ever stopped you from getting a bar job in Benidorm? No. Brexit is a crime against humanity. Some would argue against nature itself. We must not stop at bank accounts. Let's cut off Farage's water supply. The only way to get Britain back into the EU is to stop Nigel flushing his toilet. And whilst we're at it, why not turn off his gas as well? Let's force him to live in a medieval hovel with no heating or running water. It's only when he's doomed to living the life of a 13th century serf will he understand how pissed off we are at having to leave the customs union. Coutts' chief executive, Dame Alison Rose, has apologised, which is great news. I'm confident strong and swift action will be taken, just like after the crash in 2008. We all want banks to be the moral arbiters of society. Who wouldn't seek guidance from a cocaine-addled sociopath whose only purpose in life is to make enough money to buy their soul back from the devil? These are the people you want deciding what is and isn't acceptable. Every time I see a banker stumbling out of a strip club at 6 a.m. sniffing, they always remind me of Jesus. If Jesus was alive today, he'd be a banker with a platinum account at Magnificent Udder's Gentlemen's Club. Every single person in the UK will be sweating at the thought of having their bank account closed. Not Prince Andrew, because it's your political opinions that matter, not your actions.